Highway patrol officers saw Bob Hart leave.
In just a few hours, the Leawood couple at the center of a controversial drug raid will file a lawsuit. Garrett Hake is live at the River Market Gardening Store where this story first began. Garrett.
Guys, a Missouri Highway patrol officer saw Bob Hart leaving this hydroponic gardening store in the spring of 2012. What he purchased raised suspicions that ultimately led to a drug raid and now a new lawsuit.
Just this incredible banging, door ready to fly off the hinges noise.
A Johnson County Sheriff's Office drug raid ruined the Hart family's Friday morning on April 20th of last year. The deputy's search for marijuana turned the family's Leawood home upside down.
Every cabinet, every closet, every cupboard, every box in the attic or basement, both cars, our yard.
Trying to tell them they were in the wrong house, trying to figure out what was going on. We had no idea because we're not drug users, we never have been.
The exhaustive search turned up nothing. The Harts believe they were targeted for their basement hydroponic garden, tomatoes and squash, not drugs at all. The former CIA employees sued once already for records of the raid.
We had some information that led us to this raid.
Those records showed weeks-long surveillance of the couple's home. Deputies even dug through their trash.
The fact that they were here at 5 in the morning while we were asleep was really creepy. And then to know that, they're using some ridiculous test.
That test turned up a false positive for marijuana, triggering the search warrant that led to the raid. The Hart's attorney isn't revealing much information about the lawsuit tonight. We hope to learn much more tomorrow about whom the family is targeting and how much they want them to pay. Reporting live, Garrett Hake, 41 Action News.
Posted July 30, 2017, 8:55 a.m. By Kyle Swenson, The Washington Post. Will never be the same. A hydroponic tomato garden inspired police to raid a family's home. The police report would claim it all kicked off at 7:38 a.m., but Bob Hart later thought it had to be earlier. His 7:20 a.m. alarm had just yanked him awake. Got to get the kids, a boy in 7th grade, a girl in kindergarten, ready for school. Then he heard, like a starter's pistol setting everything into motion, the first pounding on the front door of his home in Leawood, Kansas, a bedroom suburb south of Kansas City. It was thunderous. It didn't stop. Should I get up? Bob thought. Should I not? Sounded like the house was coming down, he would recall later. Wearing only gym shorts, the stocky 51-year-old left his wife in bed and shuffled downstairs. The solid front door had a small window carved at eye level, 1 foot square. As he approached, Hart saw the porch was clogged with police officers. Immediately after opening the door, 7 members of the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, JCSO, pressed into the house brandishing guns and a battering ram. Bob found himself flat on floor, hands behind his head, his eyes locked on the boots of the cop standing over him with an AR-15 assault rifle. "Are there kids?" The officers were yelling. "Where are the kids?" And I'm laying there staring at this guy's boots, fearing for my kids' lives, trying to tell them where my children are, Hart recalled later in a deposition on July 9, 2015. "They are sending these guys with their guns drawn running upstairs to bust into my children's house, bedroom, wake them out of bed." See also. Officials, Australian woman shot after cops heard loud sound. Minneapolis police officer has yet to talk to investigators. Hart's wife, Addie, bolted downstairs with the children. The Hart son put his hands up when he saw the guns. The family of 4 were eventually placed on a couch as police continued to search the property. The officers would only say they were searching for narcotics. Addie had a thought, "It's because of the hydroponic garden," she told her husband, "they are looking for pot." "No way," Hart said, correctly reasoning marijuana wasn't a narcotic. And all this for pot. But after 2 hours of fruitless search, the officers showed the Harts a warrant. Indeed, the hunt was for marijuana. Addie and Bob were flabbergasted, all this for pot. You take the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, all the rights you expect to have. When they come in like that, the only right you have is not to get shot if you cooperate, Hart told the Washington Post this week. They open that door, your life is on the line. The April 20, 2012, raid would not furnish JCSO with the desired arrests and publicity. A news conference had already been planned for the afternoon. But it would cause considerable embarrassment. Not only were the Harts upstanding citizens with clean records, they were also both former Central Intelligence Agency officers. And they were not weed growers. Rather, the quick trigger suspicion of law enforcement had snagged on, it would later turn out, tea leaves and a struggling tomato plant. The Harts would eventually file a federal lawsuit against the county, city, and officers involved. And although a federal judge later threw out their claim, this week a three-judge panel on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit ruled that the family could move forward in court. The decision has larger implications for Fourth Amendment litigation and legislation targeting badly behaving police officers. The scorching judicial pronouncement blasted authorities for laziness and possible fabrication, the kind of overzealous police work that's become a sometimes deadly facet of the drug war. And despite the sustained effort of the Obama administration to power down the law enforcement's more quixotic battles with illicit substances, Attorney General Jeff Sessions has promised to reprioritize marijuana investigations. The Harts case is a textbook reminder how that can be dangerous. Our family will never be the same, Addie told the Post. If this can happen to us, everybody in the country needs to be afraid, Bob added. The events leading to the raid began a year earlier, according to court documents. Starting in 1997, Sergeant James Wingo of the Missouri State Highway Patrol started pulling surveillance shifts in the parking lots of hydroponic garden stores around the state. The project's logic, as Wingo explained in a 2011 letter to other law enforcement agencies, was that the stores sell items that are consistently found in indoor marijuana growing operations. As customers came and went, Wingo would note their license plate information and enter names into a database. In 2011, Wingo conceived of Operation Constant Gardener. In his letter to law enforcement, Wingo stated he would supply your agency with the names of these customers that are within your jurisdiction. This will give your agency 2 weeks to initiate brief investigation to obtain probable cause for a search warrant. Then, per Wingo's plan, the various agencies would all strike on the same day, April 20. Wingo chose the timing due to the date's association with weed life. It was a date celebrated in that community much as we celebrate Christmas. Wingo promised the operation would be a significant media event. The first series of Operation Constant Gardener raids were successful, with 30 agencies participating in the roundups. 52 indoor grows were seized, according to court records. The media coverage was 99% positive, Wingo noted in an email to the agencies. There was demand for a repeat in 2012. Thomas Redden, a sergeant with the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, emailed Wingo 5 months after the first raids asking about more joint operations on the upcoming April date. Wingo admitted in an email he didn't have enough new contacts to justify a full-throttle 420 operation. But the state highway patrolman offered to share the names he did have with the county. On March 20, 2012, JCSO received the names from the garden store surveillance. Bob Hart was among them. He had met his wife Addie in 1989, when both were working for the CIA. 10 years later, the family relocated to the Kansas City area to raise a family. Addie worked as an attorney with a local financial group. Bob stayed home and raised the kids. Around 2011, he'd come up with the idea of trying to raise tomatoes, golden melons, butternut squash, and other vegetates in a hydroponic garden in the family's basement as an educational project with his son. The setup was small, just 2 parallel tubes of PVC piping with plastic cups of seeds and dirt under the lamps. And to gather supplies for the project, on August 9, 2011, Bob and his 2 children piled out of the family's Kia minivan in the parking lot of a gardening store called Green Circle in downtown Kansas City. Wingo was watching from a parked car and noted the license plate. 8 months later, as law enforcement continued to search every inch of their house for drugs, Addie sat on the couch, trying to explain to her son what was going on. "I had nothing, how do you explain that?" "They know I can't protect them then," she told the Post this week. "Sitting in your home, having your Miranda rights read to you, it's absolutely surreal." The raid turned up no marijuana. Before leaving the Hart house, police would only say the family had been targeted and surveilled because marijuana seeds and stems had been found on the property. The cops also suggested the couple's son was smoking pot, and told the Harts to take him to a pediatrician for a drug test. In the year following the raid, Addie and Bob both struggled to come up with an explanation for why marijuana seeds and stems would have been at their home. The couple say they've never smoked pot themselves. There just wasn't a sensible reason for the raid. The unanswered question began to eat particularly at Bob. Previously calm and carefree, he stopped sleeping, and found himself mentally tripping down a rabbit hole of possible scenarios. Who were they dealing with here? He wondered. Was this a situation of corrupt cops or a setup? Or did a neighborhood kid drop some marijuana on their lawn walking by? Addie, whose brother was a former New York City police officer, watched as her children became frightened just driving by the police station or seeing a patrol car on the road. Finally, nearly a year after the incident, JCSO provided some documentation to the couple. Right away, they understood what had happened. On the official paperwork before the raid, investigators noted they had pulled the couple's trash before the incident as part of the investigation. But the reports didn't refer to stems and seeds. They referred to a wet glob vegetation. "As soon as we heard that, we knew it was my tea," Addie told the Post, referring to a loose-leaf Tivana brand tea she drank regularly. But it took over a year and $2,500 for a lawyer to figure out what had happened. In fact, the pre-raid investigation was actually even more suspect. Court records later indicated that after identifying the Harts from Wingo's tip, JCSO conducted 3 trash pulls on the house. On the first, April 3, the officers noted wet plant material but determined it was innocent. At the next 2 trash pulls, April 10 and April 17, the same material was found again, but this time JCSO officers tested the material with a marijuana field test. The results came back positive, but the officers didn't take photos of the results or send the material to a laboratory for confirmation. Instead, based on the Wingo tip and the 2 positive drug tests, JCSO applied for and was granted a search warrant for the April 20 raid. In November 2013, the couple filed a federal lawsuit against the county's Board of Commissioners, as well as the officers involved. The family claimed the raid was an unlawful search and seizure in violation of the 14th and 4th Amendments. The suit, which asked for $7 million in damages, also argued law enforcement violated state laws including trespassing and abuse of power. In December 2015, U.S. District Judge John W. Lungstrom threw out the family's case citing qualified immunity, the legal doctrine that shields officers from liability for otherwise lawful acts in the course of their duty. The Harts appealed. This week, the 3-judge panel, Carlos Lucero, Gregory Phillips, and Nancy Moritz, ruled against the state, sending the case back to district court. What's notable is that the 100-page decision pushed back hard against the claim police officers are immune from legal responsibility if they are just doing their jobs. The defendants in this case caused an unjustified governmental intrusion into the Harts' home based on nothing more than junk science, an incompetent investigation, and a publicity stunt, Lucero wrote in his opinion. The 4th Amendment does not condone this conduct, and neither can I. The judge went on to question the department's claim of probable cause for the raid, particularly on the issue of the supposedly positive field-tested tea leaves. There was no probable cause at any step of the investigation, the judge wrote. Not at the garden shop, not at the gathering of the tea leaves, and certainly not at the analytical stage when the officers willfully ignored directions to submit any presumed results to a laboratory for analysis. Ed Eilert, a chairman of the Johnson County Board of Commissioners, did not respond to an email seeking comment on the decision. The appellate win, if not successfully appealed, means the Harts will be able to press their case in district court. 5 years after the raid, the couple say they are committed to pushing forward, especially if the challenge could impact the latitude law enforcement takes when conducting police work. The Fourth Amendment was not there when we needed it, Bob said. We want to restore that for future generations.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done... for life hating so much. Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before,
Sheriff's getting a little too pushy. You work for us, Sheriff. Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts, 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal, and there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know what, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now, where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran in, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran in, no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.